on the stage camera.
Can you hear me at the back, Clacton? Thank you so much for coming. It's absolutely outstanding. What a crowd. What a roar. Are you going to vote for Keir Starmer? No! Are you going to vote for Rishi Sunak? No! Are you going to vote for my very good friend, the one and only Nigel Farage? Well, if you do, and if you spread the word, may I introduce you to what I hope will be the next Member of Parliament for the fantastic constituency of Clacton!
It's fantastic to be back here. This place played a pivotal role back in 2014. And it's got us, and it's got us. Without Clacton, Brexit would not have happened. So thank you, Clacton. And I campaigned here with Douglas Costa, your MPs, and in the end, we made an offer to the British people. We could get back our independence and control of our borders. But what has happened? The Conservatives have betrayed that trust. They've opened up the borders to mass immigration like we've never seen before. And they deserve to pay a price for that. A big price for that. As for Labour, well, I've got no confidence that they'll reduce the numbers coming in either. And you know the problem? These people, unlike you in Clacton, they're not genuinely patriotic people. They don't believe in Britain and the British people the way you do. But am I right in thinking? Yeah! Is this not the most patriotic town in the whole of our country? And we're gathered here as one Clacton resident. He's on his way across the English Channel. He's 98 and he's joining 25 other British veterans 80 years to the day that we put together with the Americans and indeed with the Canadians that incredible operation that liberated Europe. Is that something that we're all proud of? So how is it that over 50% of 18 to 34-year-olds have never even heard of D-Day? It is a complete failure of the education system. It is as if we're telling our youngsters to be ashamed of our past and not proud of our past. And this has happened under Labour and Conservative governments. And what we want to do, we want to put voices in Westminster that truly believe in Britain, do not want the minds of our kids being poisoned, and to tell them that actually they should be proud of this country, proud to be British, and optimistic. Now what do I have to offer you? Well, I can promise you that I do know one thing, that a woman can't have a penis. You won't get any woke PC nonsense from me because I've always told it as it is, stood up for what I believed in.
Yes, mate.
And in over 20 years in the European Parliament, getting up, giving those speeches, being involved in those fights, I can tell you after 20 years there, I enjoyed it much more than they did. But wouldn't it be nice if we had people in Parliament in our country standing up for for the majority view, standing up for the silent majority, unafraid to call it out, and it's going to need to happen.
Damn right.
It's going to need to happen big time, because this election effectively is over. That breach of trust from the Conservatives means they're finished. They're finished, they're done.
Yeah.
We are going to get a Labour government.
Yeah. No.
Whether you like it or not, we're going to get a Labour government. The question is, who is going to be the voice of opposition?
We are.
Who is going to be the voice of opposition? Reform UK. I want Reform UK with me at the helm to be in Parliament, and I promise you, I'll liven it up a lot from what it currently is. Now, my visits to Clacton have been regular. So regular that some people think I'm actually part of the spoons up the top there. It's not true, but I'll make you a promise, it will be before too long.
Hello.
We are here as a party to stand up for the little guy, to stand up for the little woman. We've had enough of government that bows down to big business. Big businesses who will willfully employ foreign workers, undercutting British workers. We want to get British people back to work. We want small business to be given the chance to flourish, as opposed to being punished as it is by government after government. And my record is I take on the European Union. I take on the banking establishment. And what I will do if you give me the honour of being your Member of Parliament, I will stand up and fight for people. I will stand up and fight for small businesses against the regulators. I will stand up and fight for people to get their rights. I will stand up and fight to make sure that schools are not poisoning the minds of your children and grandchildren. I've made a big commitment to do this. I've got to tell you, my life in the last couple of years has really been pretty easy. I've loved being at GB News. I've loved the things that I do. How many GB News fans here? I've loved all of that, but I'm making a commitment that I will spend a considerable amount of my time in this constituency with you, fighting for those who don't have their own voice, fighting for those who've been downtrodden. And I hope that having a national figure representing this constituency will put Clacton on the map. No longer will you be at the end of the line. No longer will you be ignored. And I hope and believe that I can help get investment coming in to this constituency, which will bring jobs, and hopefully well-paid jobs. So I will stand up and fight for you. I will give you of my best, and I'll do what I've done for the last quarter of a century in politics. I will be unafraid, despite what everybody says, despite what names they call me. They're so stupid. It only encourages me, really. And me. In fact, send me to Parliament to be a bloody nuisance. Now, massive thanks to my colleague Richard Tice, without whom this party would not be here today. He kept this going, and I'm thrilled that he did it. But let me say this to you. Thank you for coming along this morning in such unbelievable numbers.
And thank you.
Always risky doing an outdoor event, but you're here.
Okay,
But I want to ask this of you.
Can you see a food car?
Coming along, enjoying the circus, agreeing with me, or disagreeing, but agreeing with me is one thing. But what we need is to reactivate a people's army. A people's army against the establishment. A people's army who want to get this country back on track. A people's army who want to be represented by people who think like they do. So let me ask you, will you commit Will you commit to do your bit? Will you commit to help? Will you commit to go out there, deliver leaflets, put up posters, do all this? If you commit to help me in this campaign, put your hands up now. Right. You've all made me a promise. We've got people here with clipboards. We'll take your emails, we'll take your phone numbers, and I look forward to seeing you over the course of the next few weeks, and I hope over the course of many, many years to come. I didn't know 3 days ago. I didn't know 3 days ago that I was going to be here doing this. My big thanks to Tony McIntyre. Tony was going to stand for reform in this constituency. He has very gracefully stood aside. And he's going to play a big, key, leading role in this campaign.
Let's save Clacton and save Britain.
Save Clacton and save Britain! I'll tell you what, that was so good. He might have been better than me, really, but anyway. So it's absolutely running to the line. We want to win this. We want to win it big. We want Reform to win many seats in this Parliament. Let's be the opposition to a Keir Starmer Labour government that doesn't share the same values that you do here in Clacton. I'm honoured to have this opportunity.
So are we.
I genuinely believed that my career in public life was over. But as I look around me and see the state our